Welcome to another edition of Afternoon Express. I'm Balisa Dembe, and today's guests are sharing insights from their incredible journeys with us. Author Yusuf Daniels calls into the loft to share about his journey from Mitchell's Plain to Aeroplane in his latest book, Living Lekker. Former Presenter Search on 3 finalist Dean Woodman unpacks his experience of single parenthood. Nigerian singer and songwriter Ida Hims breaks down his path to his latest EP, Man on Fire. And we're kicking it all off with the Tsonga Prince, Mr. Hennessy himself. Now, being a Limpopo artist is a bit difficult, but we hear Mr. Hennessy is making a big splash on the local music scene, whilst tracks like Lovola Money may be nominated for 2 awards at the upcoming South African Music Awards. He is showing us that his latest album, Love and War, that he is here to stay.
I don't want no trouble. Lovola Money lay on the table. I don't want no trouble. Love all my lay on the table.
Welcome to the Loft, Tsonga Prince.
Thank you for having me, Palisa. How you doing?
I'm so good. I'm loving all the music on today's show. Now, your career started 16 years ago. Talk to us about how you got your start in the music industry.
Look, man, I've always been passionate with music, since I was very young, because my uncle used to, play guitar, so we'll be sitting around the fire and he will be playing for us. So, that got me to start loving music. But then, to cut the story short, 16 years ago, I was introduced to, recording, and I never looked back, from that day, I started recording, and it was just me and my friend, we paid for the studio session, and look, you know what, something came from that. Yeah, we are today. Yeah.
Now, you have 4 studio albums, all of which are centered around the love theme, including your recently released Love and War. Now, what attracts you to writing songs about love, which is the perfect theme, I guess, for right now, where people need love the most?
Look, love is life. You cannot do anything without love. So, I feel very comfortable and happy when I'm singing about love. It's such a very important factor of life. Encouraging those who have fallen out of love and actually bringing those who are actually tired. Other people have dated and dated and dated. They just never got the right person, But then it feels good when somebody calls and say, you know what, I was listening to your song and I feel encouraged. I feel like I can love again. That pushed me very, I get pushed, yeah.
I like that. I love the fact that people are actually calling you up and saying, I believe in love again. I mean, I love love too, so I'm with you there, my brother. Now, your music is popular both in the villages, in townships of Gauteng and Limpopo, and countries like Mozambique, and in taverns and radios across the country. Now, coming from Limpopo, you've said yourself that so few artists make it on a national and international stage. What are your thoughts on this, and where would you like to see music reach?
Look, my thoughts on that, when you're coming from Limpopo, most of the Limpopo artists, or let me just say, Tsonga speaking artists, they are a little bit overrated, let me say. I feel like we're not given a chance to, showcase what we can do, but I would love that to change, and for me to change that, I have to do something. I had to start singing in my language because I used to sing a lot with other languages as well. But then I thought to myself, my language is behind. How about if I start singing and I will be more comfortable as well with my language? So, I want to see that change, and the change starts with me as an artist. I've got to put my language out there. And thanks for a show like this that gives us a plug. You guys are giving us a chance to shine as well. Yeah.
We're so happy to be your plug, Henny, because you are doing incredible things. You are a full-time musician, raising 3 beautiful young men. As a father and as a parent, what are some of the most important life lessons that you and your wife are trying to instill in your boys, and how are you managing it all?
Look, when you are a musician, you just have to have a wife that is supporting. If your wife supports you, trust me, you've got all this figured out. Because at the end of the day, it's all about understanding. It's about appreciating me as an artist first. As a wife, she knows how to put me together when I'm breaking and all that. Mm-hmm. And as a father as well, my kids, they inspire me to make good music so I can sell and make the moolah. Otherwise, we're gonna starve. So we have to balance all this. My kids understand, my wife understands. I also understand that as a father, I've got to give time for my children as well. And you know what? During this time of this, lockdown, I had a very good time that I spent with my family as well. They get to see me and enjoy me.
I love the fact that you are very family orientated and that you hold family values quite high. You have shared with me that you are fortunate enough and privileged enough to have grown up with both parents. And on the show today, we're highlighting fathers like you and the father that you had in your life. Why is that so important? Having that patriarchal figure as the head of the household and helping in every way and in every layer of parenthood.
Look, man, it's quite interesting to be a father, and it's one of those precious gifts that you cannot exchange. Once you become a father, you start looking at life differently, and I've learned a lot from my father as well, from the experiences that we had. Not only the good ones. I had to. When I'm with my father, I get to learn so much. If he fumbles on the other side, it's a lesson for me not to do the same, So it's quite interesting, but you know what? I cannot complain a bit. I love being a father, and it's one of the greatest gifts God has ever, given me.
I'm sure you wear that daddy badge with pride. It is your most proudful role. Is it easy, though? Is there a manual? Because, some of us aren't parents yet, and we need the help.
Look, you just have to take it one day at a time. It's interesting because you get to see your little mini yous running around the house. Sometimes you get to shout because they'll be standing in front of the TV. Or since for me the studio is in the house, I work in the house and then I'll be like he will just come knocking, daddy, daddy, and I'll be in the middle of a very good verse and I have to restart again. But it's such a very, very exciting feeling. You cannot beat that.
Oh, you can't beat that little daddy. Please, next time that we have you on Afternoon Express, you have to lay down a verse with your three men there as backing vocalists and your wife there as maybe a little soprano, and we have a family song together.
Yeah, man, I think I should do that as well. What? They can sing, actually. My wife can sing, and my kid, my firstborn, he can sing. I had him a couple of times. It's just I don't want to give him that, because I know music can be toxic, eh?
Hey, that is a conversation for another day and another show. We'll be sure to be calling you up, though, to discuss all of that. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate it. And please send our love to the family. Goodbye.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
South Africa, that is Mr. Hennessy himself. The Tonga Prince has given us music. He shared his family life and his love for his wife. Please may you head over to Afternoon Express's Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter. Leave your comments for Mr. Hennessy.
What an amazing interview, Balisa. It's so lovely to see people just going for what they want to do, going for their dreams and actually just fulfilling it. It's great to see that Hennessy's doing so well.
He is doing so well. But I think what makes Hennessy so much more special is the fact that he is a present father in his kids' lives.
Absolutely love that. We actually need to celebrate that more and more. The more great fathers we see, the more we need to celebrate them.
Yeah, and also what I like about this is that we're kind of breaking down the rules of a father, whether you're a single dad, as Dean is, or you are in a committed relationship. There are different levels here, and there's different commitments.
I agree with you with that, especially the fact that we only celebrate our fathers on Father's Day. So we need to actually make sure that we put an eye on that, be like, guys, we see you. We see you.
And big ups. Big ups indeed. Now, talking about big ups, author Yusuf Daniels' anecdotes of life growing up in the Cape Flats captured the hearts of many with his first book, Living Coloured. Coming up, we chat to him about his latest offering, Living Lekker. Yusuf Daniels joins us now to talk about his second biographical bestseller, Living Liquor, From Mitchell's Plain to Aeroplane. Welcome back to The Loft, Yusuf.
Palesa, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm so glad to have you join us again here on Afternoon Express. And congratulations, you've dropped your second book.
Yes, I did, with the influence of people and everybody around me saying, Yusuf, you have to do that second book. So you know me, I listen, and that's what happened then, yeah.
So last year we spoke to you about, of course, the success of your first book, Living Coloured, because white and black are already taken. How is it different now to your second autobiographical book, Living Liquor?
So Living Liquor is now basically from when I was 18 years old up. It's my first girlfriend. Okay, that was my fourth girlfriend, I'm lying. My first job at Woolworths, where I thought I would get this top job, and I ended up carrying boxes in a suit, to being a flight attendant for 8 years. So there's a lot of flight attendant stories in this book, which is beyond crazy. And then there's a whole lot of other stories about life.
So, you know, Yusuf, apparently there were a lot of people also advising you against writing a follow-up book. Now that it is a success, what do you have to say looking back at the decision of whether or not to write it?
You know, Palesa, you will always have naysayers in your life that will try and drag you down that negative part of theirs, but you just walk right on by and you just carry on. If you have a gut feel, go with it. I had this gut feel, I had the responses, I had the amazing reviews, and people just said go, and I just did it. I had this feel and I just went with it. And hey, self-published author, right there.
Congratulations. I'm sure that takes a whole lot of courage and bravery and backing yourself. We always speak about this on the show, and it seems to be a common thread around all of our incredible guests who are industry leaders, whether they are authors like yourself. Now, this book in itself, it deals exclusively, as you have said, with a certain chapter of your life and your life's journey. So tell us a little bit about what we can expect when we open the pages of Living Liquor, and what can we learn in the book?
There's a life lesson, by the way. There's 22 short stories. There's a life lesson after every story. There's a great message, right? That's the change kind of from the first book. So the first story is about me growing up with gangsterism and how sport got me out of gangsterism, which is, I feel, is a very important story to tell. That was my story. Then it carries on into people that I've met over the years, the clubs that we went to, how I met the kid's mother on the beach in my orange Speedo. Yes, I did. I wore orange Speedo, and it was small back in the days. Yes, it's not small anymore, Palesa.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a lot of crazy, funny stories. And then also when I was married, where my wife drove with her car while I was playing a cricket match in pads, 100 people watching. She drove with her car onto the cricket pitch to come and tell me, you need to come home now. Now,
Yusuf, this did not happen. This sounds like a movie.
Listen here, if you read this book, there's about 10 stories that sounds like a movie in there, I promise you.
I'm very excited to tuck into this book, Yusuf. You've got such a talent for storytelling and being able to share your life experiences with everybody who picks up a book. Yusuf, you are a proud father to 3 beautiful kids. So what does fatherhood mean to you? On the entire show today, we're shining a spotlight on the father figures.
Palesa, I've got 3 amazing dragons, a girl, a boy in the middle, and another girl at the end. So those are my 3 kids. So I'm divorced, so they live with their mom. I live on my own, but I'm with them basically every day. I've been to every netball game of the eldest one. I've been to every soccer and rugby game. I do not miss out on anything that they do, sports-wise especially. So this is the kind of dad that I am. Be involved, even if you're divorced. There's nothing wrong with being divorced. You can still, you still have to be a big part of your kids. And I love these kids. I call them my dragons because they act like dragons sometimes, yeah.
Well, you know, honesty is the best policy, and sometimes kids can be a little bit of a nightmare, but they are a dream come true as well. So, Yusuf, what does fatherhood mean to you? You've already mentioned the fact that you have to physically be there as a cheerleader. What else is important about fatherhood to you?
You know, just being present. I always say presence is better than presents. I see a lot of dads. I deal a lot in the community, and I do a lot of small business stuff, and I meet a lot of people, and I just spot a lot of parents, especially dads, are not present in their kids' lives. They tend to spoil the kids and try to substitute their presence. You don't know what you're missing, and when you look again, they all grown up out of the house and they're gone, and then you have your own life then again. So while they're still young and latched on kind of to me, I'm just having such a ball of a time with these amazing 3 kids that I have.
Yeah. Okay, Yusuf, I might not be in your family, but if I was, I hope that there is a spot as a cheerleader as every child turns 17, because I might not be doing the 2 oceans with you guys, but I'm definitely rooting along with each stride that you guys take together. Thank you so much for being a proud member of the Daddies Club and giving us this incredible second offering of Living Lekker.
Thank Palisa, thank you so much for having me, and to all the great dads out there, yippee, great stuff. All the not so lekker dads, just be lekker, man, please.
And on that note, Yusuf, I want to use this as an opportunity to challenge all those dads out there who aren't too lekker to stand up. I mean, it's never too late. Be present in the child's life. Thank you so much, Yusuf, and thank you to all the proud fathers out there who are making a real difference. Everybody go out there and grab yourself Living Lekker.
Oh my word, another amazing father, Balisa. Isn't that amazing? I will call him the father of dragons. You know Khaleesi is the mother of dragons?
Brilliant, I love that. Oh, I'm so loving Yusuf and how he is present in his children's lives. And I don't know if you caught that, Dumi, he alluded to a 4th book.
Imagine, I haven't even started my first one.
Yeah. Girl, get on it. I know the Baxter Theatre has done some incredible stuff with this book, and they have transformed it and into the written word where Mark Lottering narrated the book and read it out. It is marvelous. You need to get your hands on that book.
I think the one thing I love about that is that the stories that he writes will live on even after he's gone. So that's amazing.
Magnifique. Thank you for that, Dumi. Now, South Africa, he's not just a marketing maven and a fitness fanatic. Presenter Search on 3 top 4 finalist Dean Woodman is also a devoted dad. Coming up, he shares more about his journey of single parenthood. and former finalist on Presenter Search on 3 Expresso Edition, we chat to Dean Woodman about parenting as a single dad and the challenges that come with it. Welcome back to The Loft, Dean.
Hey, how are you, Palesa?
I'm so good, Dean. Now, look, we are happy to see you in good spirits and feeling good and 100% healthy. But, homeboy, we heard the news. You tested positive for COVID a while ago. You're good now, but please may you share your journey with us.
Well, I went for a test to see if I was positive. Thankfully, I wasn't, but it still required me to be indoors for 14 days. And when we're talking about indoors, I literally was in a room for 14 days, using your own utensils and stuff like that. And that was hard. I like to meet people. I like to be out there. Lockdown in itself is showing me flames, nonetheless. But yeah, that was something that was very, very difficult to go through. The test itself, you're just so nervous when it happens. And that swab is one hell of a long swab, let me tell you.
Listen, that swab has been giving me nightmares. We are safe here on Afternoon Express and we have not been exposed, thank goodness. But that swab that everyone has been talking about, please don't even go there. But I'm so glad that you did touch on the 14 days that you were isolated, stuck in a bedroom. That must have been so difficult, especially as a dad. So let's dive straight into that. You and your son's mom are co-parenting. So how did you develop the co-parenting relationship plan that works? And what responsibilities do you share? And how do you spend equal amounts of time with your son?
So let's start with the schedule that works, right? Firstly, it's not a great situation for any kid to be in. And, that's just one of the things that happens and you have to make it work. Starting the schedule in the beginning was a bit difficult, trying to balance time, trying to balance needs and wants, and making sure that he has an even space between his mom and myself. I got to tell you, though, even with me, and you refer to COVID-19 and being in for 14 days, that in itself put more pressure on her, right? Because he couldn't be by me. And she's been world-class where that's concerned in terms of how we co-parent and how we adapt. I think the first three things that we realized very soon off the bat is that you have to have a schedule. The schedule needs to be maintained. The schedule also needs to be adaptable, and it needs to be equal amongst both parties, right? So basically how we created the schedule is that he gets to see both of us each and every single day. One drops him off at school, the other one fetches him, and then that alternates, and then every alternate weekend he's with his mom or he's with me. That's exactly how it worked. Look, I'm not the best dad out there. I'm not a super dad or anything like that. You still learn as you go along, obviously. But I think we've made a great inroads into how we actually adapt to make it very equal for our son.
So then, Dean, how do you deal with discipline?
Well, you know what? Your kids, let me tell you, they say that they are very adaptable. Give them a phone or give them an Xbox and they know how to use the controls and change the settings before you do. They know exactly how to play the system when they can see, okay, so dad's this side, mom's this side. Oh, but mom said I can and dad said I can. Communication is absolutely key. Okay, and I think the discipline needs to set a certain base principles. So schools have principles of discipline, which they ask you to instill at home as well. We try and do the same thing where it's timeouts or taking away privileges, things like that. You try not to raise your voice. I'm going to tell you, I'm the first one. I'm a strict parent when it comes to that. I do raise my voice every now and again. But I think it's about letting him know that, even though mom and dad's not together, we do talk. So we know exactly what's going on there versus what's going on by me. And you see, we still have time together where we socialize and we talk with you when it has sporting events or when you have arts and culture events or anything like that. So he knows that the discipline principles are the same. And if there's anything that he's done wrong while he's been with me, I will gladly tell his mom, so his mom's aware of, listen, so this has happened, so this is how we need to go on with it. So yeah, you can't get away with that, trust me.
Yeah, I love the fact that it doesn't count as snitching if it comes from a parent to another parent. So I love that. Okay, but Dean, I want to touch on a very spicy and sensitive subject. What challenges do you face with co-parenting? Because not many people have good co-parenting relationships. So how do you guys make it work?
Look, like I say, the beginning was very difficult because obviously there's lots of things involved in terms of, there's your needs, there's the mom's needs, there's your kids' needs. but we call it Team D first, right? And that's my son's name. So we make sure that no matter what's happening on either side, he comes first. So you make your co-parenting work, right? If you are all about your kids and you know that they need a stable way of going forward, it's regardless of anything that's happening on your side, your son needs to be the most secure, or your daughter needs to be the most secure. And it's difficult. Everybody has ups and downs. Even parents that don't co-parent in the same household, they have a fight or something like that, and it's going to impact the kid. The important thing is that it doesn't impact the kid, and you try not to let that happen. So that's after the last 2.5 years. Initially in the beginning, you're scheduling up and down. You don't know how things are going to work, what weekends, who does school duties, who does school plays. But then you start realizing, there's certain things you'll do together with him, and there's certain things that you'll equalize and do apart. And I think that's where we got to a fluid system. Literally, my son, there's not a day, unless I'm traveling or she's traveling for business, there's not a day that he does not see both of us. Because one's dropping you at school, one's fetching you at school. The one that fetches you is the one you're going to sleep by, and then I drop you the next morning and mom fetches you the afternoon. So you literally get to see both parents every single day. It might seem like it's taxing, but it's a plan that we've worked on that works.
Wow, Dean, that is so powerful, the way in which you guys have scheduled and made it work. So what values have you learned from your father and your stepfather that has shaped you into the parent that you are today?
I'm privileged that I've had two father figures in my life. I think my dad always taught me, number one, he taught me discipline. He taught me always to thrive and push for something that you want. And the thing that I remember most about him is never think that you know everything. There's always somebody out there that knows more, that has more knowledge, that has the ability to do things better. So keep on pushing. With my stepdad, which I don't like referring to him as stepdad, I actually call him Pops. So with Pops, basically he's a tech-savvy guru. I can tell you that. He literally showed me the world of phones that's not Android, not BlackBerry. He's like, no, these are the new phones that you need to do. I remember it way back then. And his sense of humor is the driest I have ever met. So my first dad, extremely serious, extremely focused at work. My second dad is very cool. When you meet him, he's a very much an introvert person, but great tech savvy and the dry sense of humor that makes me laugh all the time. The best thing that I do with him is try and catch him on camera when he's doing something silly and, posting it to the family chat, because no one sees that side of him. So I try and catch him all the time.
Uyabo, in my family, we'd say, uyisgebengu, uyasazisgebengu. You are just so naughty and mischievous. But I like that about you. I love that playful energy that you guys bring towards the household, whether it's with Daddy Dearest or with your pops. Now, you've learned from them. I want to find out from you, what is the most important thing that you want to teach your son that he will never forget?
I think that comes from both sides. So obviously both from his mom's side and from me, the one thing that we always want him to be is respectful. That's super important. I think a lot of kids lose that today, not only in the fact that you want to be their friend, but then they start conversationalizing you like by your first name and they don't give two clicks about you, right? So respect is super important, not only to your friends, not only to new people that you meet, but also to your family and your mom and your dad. The other thing is to always have a giving attitude, and that's something that I've learned along the way. When I say giving attitude, give but don't expect anything in return. Super important. You never know when it's going to come back to you, and a lot of times that things makes this way full circle. So it's the fact of make sure you give. Don't always think about what's in it for me. So we teach our boy, be respectful, be kind, and always give. I think if you can keep those values, it's super important. And no matter what day it is, whether the day is good or whether the day is bad, always smile. And he's got the cutest smile. I don't think he got it from me, though. I think he got it from Mama Bear, to be very honest with you. So that's the thing that we try and keep him. When he gets down or something like that, I'll tell him, listen, all you need to do is smile and then you'll be fine. So those are the three things: respect, give, and be kind.
Respect, give and be kind. Thank you so much, Dean. My heart is filled with joy right now listening to you speak. We need more father figures like you out there, not only to be those heads within their own families, but to lend that head and be that leader to other families that need it and that do have absentee fathers. Thank you so much, Dean, for sharing the love and all the love to Mama Bear and your baby son. And we want to encourage everybody on social media right now, head over, use the hashtag Afternoon Express, and please may you share your father figure with us. Let's share in the love and let's share in all the appreciation. Cheers, Dean. Goodbye.
Cheers, Melissa. Thanks so much, It's been awesome.
Now we're congratulating and appreciating all single dads who are present in their kids' lives. Your efforts don't go unnoticed.
Oh gosh, Palesa, before I even continue, but have you seen Dean?
What I love about Dean, though, is that he is such an incredible mind. You know, sometimes we can get a little fogged and confused by all it is, but that brain is excellent. And I love the incredible routine that he has with his baby mama.
It is interesting and so lovely to watch. So many more people can take, like, lessons from that to say, look, if it ends, it doesn't mean it should the kids should suffer.
You yourself are co-parenting with your baby's baby daddy. How are you guys managing?
Very well. I think another thing that I love about Dean is the fact that they've done it, and having to look at it and see it, I'm like, actually, this is how it should be done.
It is possible to be able to co-parent in a very healthy manner.
Peaceful
so
way.
shout out to you, Dean, and your baby mama, and parents like Dumi, obviously, and her little one. Now, Nigerian producer, singer, and songwriter Idaham's path to success has been a rocky road. Coming up, he breaks down the journey releasing his latest EP, Man on Fire. Talented producer, singer, and songwriter Idahims is in the loft today to talk about his musical journey and his latest EP, Man on Fire.
Come make a be a baba, just like money and glado. I beg you make you come my side. Baby in a boom, come make a be a baba. This is my body. Hold me tight, I have a fighter for you, my shawty. My choco melody, Let me know if you there for me. Make you there for me. Get it in where you did do me. And I go lie, baby, confuse me so. Sure you know.
Idahams, how are you doing? Welcome to Afternoon Express.
I'm good, I'm fine. How are you?
Ooh, I am good, sir. You are definitely a man on fire. Definitely heating up Afternoon Express right now. Now listen, Idahams, let's get down to the music. Your need and your determination to succeed in life and in the music business was inspired through your struggle earlier in life. Please may you share that with us.
My music is a reflection of me, and it's from a deep passion. And in fact, my life, my journey, my struggles, my challenges, and my experiences as what have kept me in this business and in this career. And I try as much as I can to pass it on to the next generation, to the upcoming artists, which might be in similar situation, looking for help, looking for support to make it in life positively. So my music, for me, it has an effect generally to people who want to succeed in life, who want to make it better, make their life better in life. So for me, my life, my struggles are just talking about life per se, trying to, tell a story, try to tell my story. Whoever that wants to listen, of course, everybody wants to listen to my story, and it has a positive message to the youth. So it's been a motivation to me, an inspiration to me. I'm just a motivation to my own self, and I don't even need anything to motivate me. My story motivates me. My life, my experiences motivates me, and that keeps me going, keeps that fire burning.
Now, Idahams, I have to talk about this. It seems like you are a well put together man, whether it is in your music and in your personal life. I mean, when you speak, there's a certain wisdom there. Now, on the show today, we love to focus on the male father grooming attention and whether you've got a father-like figure or that patriarchal figure. In your life, you have unfortunately lost your parents at a very early age, but one day maybe you want to become a father. So what advice would you give to these generations to come when it comes to being that strong man and leading a household?
I want to mention, of course, I'm not a father now, but of course, I'm going to be a father, and I want my kids to believe in love and to live in love and to be able to, love their neighbor, love people in respect of the color, you understand? So I think the world needs love. The word love is not being as in, sink into, our lives. I think people actually need to understand the meaning of the word love. So I think my kids will actually have to live in love, because basically that's what the word needs right now.
Wow. I find it so interesting that a lot of people say you fall in love, but you're speaking about something a lot more special, living in love. And I think that that's what so many people are yearning for.
Yeah. Everybody falls in love, but a lot of people don't live in love. That's where the whole issues are coming from.
Yeah.
For me, I love my relatives, my brothers, my kids. So live in love, not just fall in love. Let them live in love. Love one another. The way you love yourself. Love your neighbor. Try to have a conscience. Regarding.
Yeah. Okay. You have said that you're very deliberate about the things you talk about in your music. Why is this?
For me, music, it's doing what you know how to do best. There's no effort in doing what you know how to do best, especially. A lot of people don't write their songs, but for me, why can't I write my story? Because my music is all about story and all about motivation, and I write for people as well. And so for me, it's just a normal thing that I would just want to do, to reach out to people and,
Beautifully said. Okay, so let's go into this where we see the actual culmination, and now your writing has become tangible with the EP Man on Fire. What can your fans expect when listening to the song and enjoying it? And what was the process of creating it?
We started working on the EP last year, Man on Fire. I decided not to put any future in it, and no collaboration. I didn't, just me alone did the 7-track EP, and it was the reason why I had to call it Man on Fire, because it's just about me. Even not for music, I think I would have ventured into some other thing, which maybe, who knows, I would have been a dead person by now, because some of my friends were into those struggles, the militancy struggle. So where I'm from, it's no big deal to venture into such struggles. You just see yourself doing it, and I thank God that music was an escape route for me. Music, had to move me away, change the narrative. Had to refocus my attention and my energy. I had to put it on music. My friends lost their lives in that struggle. So for me, I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to tell people that, hey, music is a life. Like, music has done a lot for me in the arms, basically, and I wanted people to have that glimpse of fire that's kept me. That even when I lost my both parents, I thought everything has come to an end, but music was holding me, was keeping me, giving me that faith, that how am I going to put it? That determination to keep on moving, keep on doing what I'm doing. And right now we are here. What if I never had that, motivation for myself, that passion that was born inside of me? Who knows? But thank God I'm here, doing beautiful music, reaching out to millions of people out there in different world, different countries rather. So music for me is a life, is my life.
Trust me, Idahems, South Africa and the world is all listening to the beautiful melodies that you're creating. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. We know that you have experienced a lot of adversity through your journey, but here you are dropping your EP, Man on Fire. We're definitely looking forward to listening to it, jamming along to it, and listening to you living in love. Cheers.
Okay, thank you, my listeners. Thank you. Keep on streaming the song. Keep on streaming my EP, Man on Fire, and don't forget, God bless you.
Congratulations. It seems like a man who's been through it all. We're talking about Idahems, who's finally released Man on Fire. All of his fans out there, head over, stream it, and let us know what your favorite track is. Go over to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Use that hashtag Afternoon Express.
What you saying, Oga? Absolutely love that interview. He's such a great guy. And the fact that he's actually mentioned what he would do as a father and how he's going to be, well, I guess a great father in the future to his kids.
He will be a great dad. And I also love the fact that he's just all about the love. It's so simple when it comes to Idahems. It's just love. He's throwing out loves like he's Oprah. Stunning.
Look under your seat. There's love.
And there's going to be more love in the kitchen, Nedums.
Of course.
Okay, so what can we expect to be making?
We are taking it to Great Britain and we'll be making an Eton mess after the break.
I'm very excited for that. Okay, so South Africa, a decadent mixture of strawberries, meringue and whipped cream. Our Eton mess recipe will ensure that you'll be eating this mess tonight. All that deliciousness coming up.
Forest from Clover just added real cereal crunch. A symphony of fruit, oats, seeds, and granola crunch. Fruits of the Forest. Real fruit, real cereal, real taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you guys are having an amazing one because we are in the kitchen today and we are making something tasty. We are making Eat and Miss.
Yes, and I love it. It's a cold dessert, but in winter, I can eat any dessert in winter.
Same here. I could do it. I could eat this dessert right through the whole of winter. And today we're using Fruits of the Forest, strawberry and cranberry flavor. And the reason for that is because our dessert is based with strawberries. So we wanted to tie in that flavor with the strawberries and the cranberry. And it's also got muesli in it, so it's got that crunch. You know, it's a nice, tasty, creamy Fruits of the Forest flavor. But I just love the strawberry taste on my side. And if you want all the ingredients, all the recipe list, exactly how to get this done, go on to afternoonexpress.co.za.
And you're going to start off with the meringue. And the only hint I want to give, you can carry on, throw the egg whites in, is that the bowl must be clean.
Correct.
Otherwise, egg whites doesn't stiffen up.
Exactly,
Isn't that so?
exactly. That is correct. So I'm going to start here with my elbow grease, and I'll be going in. So the main thing I'm going to be doing here is just whisking these until they get a stiff peak, and then I'll add my caster sugar. But you're going to be making the granola that actually goes on the top of our dessert.
Yes. I brought this in my bag. I always throw one in my bag. This beautiful, small little Fruits of the Forest. But I just want to taste if it's 100% what they say it is.
It is important. Quality assurance, quality assessment.
You can actually see the pieces of fruit in here, the cranberry and the strawberry, you know, and it's delicious. And it's also got sunflower seeds in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that the fruit inside is still nice and crunchy. You won't actually be eating it and feel like, oh my gosh, it's just mush.
Yes.
So I actually like the fact that they did that. And you know that it's also a source of 10 vitamins.
Hey,
So
we love
girl.
that, eh? We love that system. So I'm going to make a granola and I'm going to mimic some of the ingredients inside here.
Yes.
So I've put in copious amounts of butter because we're using lots of sugar and butter and cream, so we don't worry about the calories with this thing.
Of course.
And I'm going to toast off some sunflower seeds because there's sunflower seeds inside Fruits of the Forest. I'm going to add some cranberries because there's cranberries out in there, and it's going to give that tang to it, that beautiful tang to the crunch. And I'm just going to roast this, and because I'm going to add some pumpkin seeds because I like it. I don't know if everybody else likes it, but I like it.
But they also are good for you, so this ties very well with the actual Fruits of the Forest because it's got, like we said, it's got 10 vitamins. So you're just adding on to what we already have, all the goodness we already have. So guys, to be honest, this takes some time, and I promise you won't be able to do it in the amount of time we have on the show. So luckily, we've worked our magic, and I do have some that was made earlier. So what has happened here is I whisked this until stiff peaks. I added my caster sugar, and then I kept on whisking it. So I basically added the sugar in 3 portions, not all at once, to give it time to actually absorb into the mixture.
And one of the beautiful things about meringue is that shine. Show the viewers the shine.
Yes,
a meringue must have that beautiful shine on it. Then you know it's perfect. And
Exactly.
That looks really perfect.
So what happens then is that you take your meringue, you spread it onto wax paper, onto baking paper, put it into the oven at a very low temperature.
Yes.
100 degrees would be perfect. 100 degrees for about an hour, 30 minutes, because the whole idea is just to dry it out. We're not cooking it. We're not doing anything in particular. We're literally just drying it out so it has this nice, beautiful crisp.
I love a meringue. It's delicious, and you're going to do so much with it. And even if it's just like a big piece, a nice thing for me, the best thing is to break it up.
Correct.
Get your hands inside there.
Which is exactly what makes this dessert so amazing and so great. But I do have a favor to ask you. I forgot my cream in the fridge there. Can I ask you to take that out for us? Because we're going to start layering up our Eat and Miss over here.
Here we go.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by actually incorporating, thank you so much, by incorporating our Fruits of the Forest into.
Oh, clever.
Because what kind of a dessert would this be without the actual Fruits of the Forest in it? So I'm going to put in a spoon in here. I've already put some in there to help it stiffen up, but I'm just adding some more indulgence because you can never go wrong, and there can never be too much of it inside our dessert. All right, perfect. So let me leave that over there. And then I'm just going to quickly fold this into our mixture. Like we said, we don't want to take all the air out of it. We basically just want it to be
Fold
nice.
it in.
Yes. And we just want this marbling. We don't want to mix it in too much because we still want to taste that amazing flavor of our
Tooms, I can eat that as is. You know what I will also do is to take that, put it in a beautiful glass, and just sprinkle some strawberries over it.
I know, right?
And I can have that, I think, in bed, with a book, anywhere.
I know.
Anywhere.
I agree with you.
And I just want to give a tip here. If you don't have granola, because I've used a bit of granola in here, if you don't have granola, I've took a rusk, one of my old rusks is home, and I've added it to the pan. It's going to give that perfect crunch that you need.
Yes. Yes, that actually makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. So I've gone in with my meringues into the bowl over here, into our glass, and then I'm just going to spoon some cream into it. And because we want to make sure it's pretty, we make sure we don't put too much on the sides there. But I see it's already happened, so it doesn't really matter because it's all going into the tummy anyway. So we put our cream layer there that has our tasty fruits of the forest strawberry and cranberry flavor, and then we go in with our strawberries that we've nicely chopped up, and then we've got some strawberry puree here. I would say it's a coulis, but it hasn't been cooked down. It's a puree because I literally just blended the strawberries raw, and then we just go in with that layer there.
And if you don't want to use this specific flavor, fruit of the forest also comes in guava as well. I also enjoy that because I'm a guava person. I really enjoy it. I love the flavor of, I love poached guavas, and I can just imagine, because I'm taking this one home, what it's going to taste like, because it's going to be beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I'm not a fan of guava, but I have to say that the way that fruits of the forest have put the flavors together, you actually won't feel like, if you're not a guava eater, it won't be like, oh my gosh, I don't actually get this flavor or whatever. It'll actually be just indulgent and fun and tasty. And obviously I've gone in with my last layer there. I'm going to top it off with some of the fruits of the forest cream on top.
There's the granola. I'll finish that up.
Oh, yes. And the reason, if people don't understand why we've got granola in there, is because there is some muesli in the actual fruits of the forest itself. That's why we've made sure to add that.
It just adds an extra crunch. And if people want the recipe, they must go to afternoonexpress.co.za.
Correct.
Timmy, that is like 10-star. Once again, you've made like a restaurant looking at quality dish. Well done.
Thank you. And
that's amazing.
And then a little strawberry rose on top. And that is our dessert, indulgent and delicious. And guys, like we mentioned, go onto our Afternoon Express website to get the recipe and all the information regarding this recipe.
Fruits of the forest from Clover just added real cereal crunch. A symphony of fruit, oats, seeds, and granola crunch. Fruits of the forest. Real fruit, real cereal, real taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Ladies in the kitchen, that looks absolutely amazing. Please do save me a slice of that eaten mess. I'm definitely looking forward to diving into all of that yumminess after the show. Now, South Africa, thank you so much for engaging with us on social media throughout the show. We've highlighted the role of dad, whether you're a single dad or whether you are co-parenting with someone, or of course, deciding that, you know what, you put a ring on it and you've got the mama in the picture. We want to continue hearing from you on social media. Please use that hashtag Afternoon Express, and let's get a healthy debate and conversation going on. We really appreciate it today, as we do every day. Now, as we brace ourselves as well for the COVID-19 infection peak, it's important to know what's happening on the front lines in healthcare. So join us again tomorrow as we take a deep dive into this. Until then, Mzansi, good night, stay safe, and happy eating.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.